station, the Sports Animal.
9 a.m. in the morning, she's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Just like damn.
Now,
It's 7 a.m.
it's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
That wasn't right, but neither were you. It wasn't 3-0, and it wasn't 2-1. Then what could a soccer score? I get 0-0. No. How about 1-1? That was on the table. Neither one of us got that. Capo Roberto probably got that because I don't know. What's up, Merry Thursday to you? Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. What's good?
What it do?
Closer and closer, 2 weeks from today. Lobo football opens up out of University Stadium last night over on the corner of University and Avenida Cesar Chavez. It was the ball pitch that was lit up. Oakland Roots in town taking on New Mexico United, an Oakland Roots club that came in with 2 wins, 11 losses, and 4 draws. Celebrating the return for United was the group and Chris Wehan. And I told you yesterday, I thought it was all set up to be a big celebration, beat up on a team that you're better than, feel good about yourself before heading out on the road for 2 matches against contenders, bring Chris Wehan home, get some goals, and instead it is their 4th straight draw. They are 0-1-4 in their last 5 and have scored 2 goals in those last 5 matches and currently sitting 6th. It's not panic time, but you're getting to kind of got a win time too.
Yes, you are. And it was incredibly frustrating given the fact they started the game so well. 6 minutes in, they get the opening goal, creating chances. But once again, for United, missed opportunities, not able to get another exceptional touch in the final third, unable to beat the goaltender. A 34th minute free kick that was an absolute banger.
It was beautiful
by Oakland, and then it was stalemate from there and just missed chances for United.
So in the last 5 matches, they have scored a total of 2 goals. They find themselves currently sitting in 6th in the table in a 17th division. However, just 1 point out of the final playoff spot, which is Austin Bold, the side against whom they will play coming up on Monday down in Texas before going to Phoenix, which is the side that is leading the Pacific Division. So 2 tough matches coming up on the road, and just missed opportunities, JJ, for a club that keeps telling you that they're close, they're just a tick away, and just can't seem to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, and the frustration's only going to mount. And keep saying we're close, playing hard, but you're not seeing the results. It gets later and later, and the one thing for New Mexico is that schedule does not get any easier when you look down the list. Yeah, you have Real Monarchs twice coming up, but you're playing the teams ahead of you. You got a game against Phoenix Rising coming up on the 28th. You got a road game against Austin on Monday. Challenge now.
Yeah, it is a challenge and missed opportunities, and we'll see where we are at the end of the season. But now you're on the back end, and you're chasing. And you're chasing, and now you're hoping other teams come back to you as you got to go. So that was the result at the pitch last night. 1-1 United and Oakland Roots. I will give you this. Oakland Roots has a very, very cool logo.
They do.
The tree with the roots and the colors, and like I was impressed with their kits and their logo. Hattie was like, how come they got such a cool logo and we got a shield like everybody else does? I'm like, it's just shields are cool, babe. Shields are cool in soccer. That's what we do. Right? I don't know what to say.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it was a cool logo. All right. Got a lot to do today. Todd Graham, Hawaii's coach. What time you want to do that? 8:30? What are you thinking? I know we went over this pre-show meeting. I forgot to write it down. 8:30? 8:30, Todd Graham, the Hawaii coach. Talk about his team who won a bowl game last year. Do you know, I think you do know this, that was just the 3rd time in the history of their program they'd played a mainland bowl. They played in the Sugar Bowl, as you remember, when they represented the WAC. And there was one other bowl game, and then the New Mexico Bowl in Frisco, Texas. Was the only 3 times in the history of that program they played in mainland bowls. But he's got a nice team coming back. He's got Calvin Turner as a playmaker. He's got a quarterback in Chevin Cordero. He's got his best defender back, and they're picked 5th in their division. And I think they feel that they're certainly being dissed a little bit. So we'll talk with Todd Graham about what he's building out on the island. They've got some challenges there too, JJ, facility-wise. I don't know that everybody knows this. Aloha Stadium is no longer their home. They are not able to play games there. It was right around Christmas time. I mean, I remember seeing this come down when we were in Frisco, that the state of Hawaii had basically decided that the facility was not safe anymore. It was antiquated, and they're not playing no newly scheduled events. I think they played a couple of things that were in there, but now so they've got an older stadium on campus, and they're trying to build it up, and little by little, and I think it's going to be like a 9,000 capacity, but they're going to play in this little intimate stadium on campus. So,
Yeah, it's challenging times, but in terms of what they're bringing back, Chevin Cordero is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. I think the depth at that position is pretty good right now for teams, and they're in a just tough division. The West right now, it's better than the Mountain,
and that's kind of turned, huh?
It used to be, when are these teams going to rise? And they have.
I think that was like 3 years ago. I mean, it's really turned into 3. It was San Diego State. And then who else? Who's going to challenge San Diego State? Maybe it was Fresno State. Maybe it was Nevada. Who was it going to be? And then you looked in the Mountain, and when they were a year, you had 3 teams that won 10 games, right? The Utah State won the New Mexico Bowl. When they beat North Texas, they won 11. Air Force won either 10 or 11, and Boise State was in double digits. And now you're looking the other way and just going, wow, the other side probably top to bottom is stronger, although I think the whole league got better. So you get Lobo scrimmage tonight, 5:30, and I believe it's open, right?
I don't know.
I'll double check on that for you. But you're going to get a look at them as we're 2 weeks out now, and they'll play a game and a scrimmage at a University Stadium. You know what the best thing is, and I hope I'm not jinxing anybody. I'm knocking on this piece of wood here. I think that's the wood. That's the Formica. We haven't heard of any big injuries coming out of camp. Like of everything that you want to come through camp, you want to come out unscathed, and especially your quarterback position. But for the most part, have you heard of anything major where they've lost a guy off the front line of the depth chart?
Not off the front line yet.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. I firmly believe that. To get through it, and especially as injury riddled as this program has been in the past, just to keep coming through it, I think it's good. Really, honestly, even in the NFL, have you heard like a lot of injuries that they're putting guys out? You've heard these minor things, the Dak thing, and I guess Carson Wentz would be the biggest one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, because as you start going through and start playing and start hitting, and I mean it happens, and I think they've been very, very lucky with that, and it's good news. All right, we got a lot of stuff to do. Baseball is popping right now. The races are getting tighter. You've got guys flipping sticky stuff out of their belt and getting ejected. You got pitchers hitting pitchers hitting 40 plus. You mean pitchers can hit? What? Pitchers are allowed to? They can? An interesting conversation on that with the new Lobo baseball coach, Todd Brown, the other day. I want to tell you about him. Looking forward to having him on and talking specifically about that. The Kevin Durant and Draymond Green conversation. They have decided who is to blame for the breakup of the Warriors, and it sure as hell ain't them.
Ain't our fault.
It ain't me. It's someone else. Go find someone else to blame. So we're going to get into that because I certainly have thoughts. The phone numbers to get in today, 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610. That doubles as the Quan's Auto Care hotline and the Sports Animal text line. You can find JJ on the Twitter. It's _JJ Buck. Send us an old-fashioned email, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. And, of course, on the Facebook, you can watch the show. Adrian's up early this morning. He's producing on ProView Networks. You can watch it on our page, The OD in the AM. Bobcat et al. And if you're watching, you're like, wow, Bobcat looks a little different today. And he has for the last couple days. Kind of an upgrade. I mean, I'm just saying. Maybe not everybody's saying that. You look good, though. I mean, you look good.
Thank you. I have 10 shirts that are basically the same.
Do you really?
For the summer, yes.
So Danucci, does he still? I haven't seen him. Does he still wear just the same thing, just the blue shirt and the black pants every day?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think, and there's all you really smart guys, like Bill Gates was that way, right?
Right.
And Steve Jobs, like
Yeah.
you don't worry about.
Yeah,
what
they
I'm
got
wearing.
it out from me.
No. All you really smart guys, you just buy like 30. I'm going to wear a blue shirt and black pants every day, whatever it is, and that way you don't have to worry about what I'm going to wear, right?
That's right.
Yeah. You just hopefully one's clean.
Yeah, I am not a fashion maven.
Yeah, you are kind of. But did you know that? That's why like the really smart guys just
Heard that before.
yeah.
They don't want to think
I
about.
don't want to waste time
Clothes.
on being like a fashionista, like well, anyway, or at least failed one. Yeah, I understand. 505-246-0610. Hey, by now you know how passionate Aaron Jones and his company IPS is about providing security for your home and your business. And up until now, IPS has used highly trained armed guards and 24-hour patrols to respond to alarms, usually within 5 to 7 minutes. But now IPS is installing alarm systems. So it's like one-stop shopping. IPS will put an alarm system in your home or business, and then if it goes off, they will respond. They've got your security covered. You don't need to call anyone else. Their phone number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420, or you can go to ipsglobal.com. They're dedicated to making Albuquerque a safer and a better place to live and work. If you trust IPS, what you get is a local company, not a business that's going to sell your security to a national corporate giant who then, in turn, does not know Albuquerque like IPS does. They'll still respond to any alarm system, but if you don't have one, call IPS and they'll set you up for unmatched security. Don't wait to be a victim. Sleep better at night knowing IPS is watching your business, and be confident during the day they've got eyes on your home while you're not there. 505-897-2420. That's 505-897-2420. Or visit them online at ipsglobal.com.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug and play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
The count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third.
95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Showtime again last night. Shohei Ohtani hit his 40th home run. So, for those of you keeping score at home, he's leading the American League in home runs, and he pitched 8 innings last night. And the Angels beat the Tigers 3-1. I'm so glad this guy's come around. I'm so glad. And I've told you this before. We see this all the time. What do you mean, Jeff? We've never seen it before. No, we see it all the time. No, not since Babe Ruth. We've never seen this. No, we see it all the time. We just never see it at the big league level or the college level. We see it on youth fields everywhere, and this is how it is, right? Your pitcher is your best athlete, and he's leading the league in home runs. But we just haven't seen it before. I think this is so refreshing for baseball. By the way, do you know what his record is as a pitcher? Is he really 8-1?
He is.
What do you want? MVP is easy, right? Or can you give a guy an MVP who's not going to go to the playoffs?
You can.
It's happened before.
Yes.
I mean, the Angels are 10 games back of the Astros. They're 4.5 back of the Mariners. And where are they with the Yankees? Because the Yankees are holding on to the last wild card, right? 69 and 52 as opposed to, they're 9 games back. They're not catching. They're not going to playoffs. But I mean, who's your MVP in the American League?
Shohei Ohtani is going to be the MVP because you're not voting for him for Cy Young. I
agree with that.
It's not that he's not a really good pitcher with a 2.79 ERA and 40 home runs. It's just he's only started 18 games. So that's why I still think MVP makes sense because he's the best player in baseball right now because there's no one like him.
Ohtani is the first major leaguer to hit 40 home runs in a season in which he pitched at least 15 games in the history of the game. The previous record for a pitcher who pitched at least 15 games, how many home runs, was Babe Ruth in 1919, who hit 29 home runs. And that was amazing, right? Babe Ruth, 29. This is stupid. This is special. This is wonderful. And I'm so glad he came around. So I had a conversation actually this weekend with Todd Brown, the new baseball coach. And you know where I am on this, right? And remember I asked Ray Birmingham. I've asked Skipper Schaefer for
Warren Schaefer.
Warren Schaefer. It's one of my. I love seeing where baseball guys are in this. And I asked Todd Brown, well, so why can't pitchers hit? He says, well, they can't, but they just don't. He says, if you didn't hit a golf ball for 2 years, it's hard to hit, right? And I'm like, well, yeah. He says, so once they hit a level, they it's the system. They stop hitting. They get out of high school, or maybe even they get to a certain high school program, and they stop hitting. They turn into, you go to college, you're a pitcher, you don't hit anymore. And he's like, they can. He says, this is, I'd like to let him talk about it. Maybe we'll get him on here in the next few weeks to talk about it. But it's like, yes, like thank you, because that's how I feel on this. I think we see this all the time. We just don't see it at this level. And
we don't see it all the time.
You don't see it at youth baseball?
It doesn't. Minor league. I'm not comparing minor league baseball.
No, I'm youth. Not even
youth
minor
baseball.
league.
Like little league baseball.
Yeah.
Where some kid is lobbing up 40 miles per hour to figuring out someone should be able to pitch and hit in Major League Baseball.
What's the difference? It's a level. I mean, you see it all the time. I understand the difference between Major League and youth baseball.
I think to me, collegiate teams should take way more advantage of this. Given roster spots and availability, like the last thing you need is just some specialist, unless someone emerges like a Steven Strasburg or someone that is just fantastic and they become your pitcher. But it's so hard to do. Like hitting is incredibly difficult at the major league level, and just to assume all these pitchers should be out there when you have guys in your starting lineup that are barely hitting 250.
Are you worried? No, and I agree with that. I agree with all that. Do you think they're worried that we're just going to get them hurt? That if finding pitching is so valuable, I can find another catcher, I can find another first baseman, I can find a guy to play left field. But finding pitching, like I just can't risk him running the bases. I can't risk him swinging the bat and hurting his oblique. Like because to your point, when they're coming out of high school and they get to the college level, these guys, most of them,
and I think high school baseball is a better comparison just of the talent and the athletes. And collegiately, I think there's a lot more teams that should absolutely be utilizing a player if they have those skills, because of just roster size, and pitching is the hardest thing to find. So I think that's what happens when you get, especially to professional baseball, and the DH comes into play. You have guys that are just focusing on themselves, and, I'm drafted as a pitcher. I'm not hitting here, so why would I necessarily spend time in the cage when I'm just trying to make this team and climb up the ladder?
Yeah, I think if it became more of a thing, I think it'd be more accepted. And maybe this will open the door for some. There's been pitchers who are good hitters. Don Drysdale was a great hitter. Rick Rhoden was a really good hitter. You got guys now. I mean, Scherzer can hit. Kershaw can hit. I don't think Scherzer can hit. Kershaw can hit. But you got guys that still like to do it. But going back to Todd Brown's point, if you don't practice, you're not going to do it. Especially at the elite level in the world. Right? These are the best in the world. And to go out there and try to do it, I don't care how good of an athlete you used to be or you are now, this is really, really hard to do. I just, to your point, and I think it's really right, and I think you said it the right way, to take advantage of it. It might not be everybody. And so if you want to utilize the designated hitter, I think that's cool. And if I got a better hitter than that guy, but I just don't know why at some point along the line, they, and I say they because it was baseball, decided to completely disregard that skill of those players.
Because you're thinking about a game, and pretty much half of Major League Baseball is putting out a lineup in which you have no shot with one of the hitters that is going to take 2 or 3 at-bats in a game when your pitcher comes to the plate.
Say that again?
So, like, half of Major League Baseball,
the
majority of the time, is essentially saying
one
we're
guy.
playing. We have 8 hitters, and there's a guy. We'll keep our fingers crossed. He needs a sack bunt.
So, and therein lies my point.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I years ago, whenever it started, it was this was in the 50s and 60s. This isn't something that was recent. That pitchers just they can't hit, and I still like the National League game. I still like the National League game where the pitcher spot is there. I think the strategy. I enjoy the strategy of the game better. I think it puts an onus on the manager more, and I always thought, and I thought incorrectly, that it would put an onus on the game to allow pitchers to continue to develop that skill, so they're not a liability, or at least as much of a liability when they come to the plate. Because you're right, 1/9 of your lineup has what's probably a 1 in 10 chance, right?
Yeah.
Is that what pitchers in the National League probably hit 100? Right? I mean, collectively, I don't even know what the number is, but I'm going to guess it's right about 100. So, I mean, they got a 1 in 10 chance. It's always blown my mind. Then this guy comes along, and he's doing what he's doing, and I'm going, ding, ding, ding. Like, everybody doesn't have to be Shohei Ohtani. Right? This is obviously something that we're watching that is very, very special. I've never seen it before, and I've watched baseball for a long time. I don't think you've ever seen it before at this level. But my point is, we see it on youth fields all the time, and maybe even on high school fields. I would think at some point, and I guess who's going to take advantage of it? Because who benefits from it? If you're a college coach and you say my pitchers are going to hit, do you benefit from it? You've got the DH, so you probably got a better hitter. So I guess there is no going back, right?
Not now. The only thing is if you have a talent that you're able
like this
to maximize.
And you've got to be able to get him in the how about this? If Shohei Ohtani came up through American baseball, if he came up, whether it was through university baseball, college baseball, or the American minor leagues, do you think there would have been an organization, a college coach that would have allowed him to do this, to become this guy? Because I'm not sure I do.
The answer's got to be no, because we haven't seen it. Like, Shohei Ohtani is so special because it's not just American baseball. Like, no one else from Japan is doing that either.
No, you're right. You're right. But they allowed him to do it in Japan, right? They allowed him to develop both skills, and he's come over and proven it at this level. Like, I wonder if he came up, let's just say he played at the University of New Mexico, or he played at Nebraska, or he played at...
end up just being
pick one, right?
A hitter.
Pick one. Pick one. And I wonder how many guys, maybe not would have been this great, but how many guys that could have been really good and somewhat in this mold could have done this at the big league level, but were forced at some point through the systems to pick one. I'd marvel at it, and it just makes my mind go that way. But I wonder where other people are. We've had this conversation a little bit on it. Could there be more Shohei Ohtanis, more guys who can pitch and give you good innings, and he's 8-1 for crying out loud, and still lead the league in home runs, or at least be productive at the plate? Because my belief is there could be. 505-246-0610.
Well, Jeff is right in one case. You don't need to specialize in just one thing. You want to be the complete package. With F45 functional training, it's full body, high intensity interval training that's going to get the best out of you from top to bottom. That is how you become the best when it comes to your fitness health, is working everything from cardio work to strength work, but in a 45-minute session that's not just dedicated to one thing. You're not going to burn out on a rower or a treadmill or just doing one exercise. The programs are fantastic, and you need to check them out for yourself. Head over to F45training.com. Download the F45 app today. Check out the Northeast Heights location. Look at the schedule of classes available, the class descriptions of what is in store each day, and you can also sign up for your 7-day free trial on that app. Get in and get going. You're going to realize that with full body functional fitness, but the class is there every day, it's going to take a little bit off your schedule of thinking, oh, what do I need to do today? What should I be doing? So classes are designed to maximize each and every exercise specific to that day's workout. Let's check them out at F45training.com. Download the app today. Team training, life changing. I'll see you at F45.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the
Hi. Hola. Let's go over some stuff with Gato Roberto. Look, he's worked hard on that Houston Baptist scout.
I already got to say it's going to be the best scout we've had.
Well, it's going to be all in the delivery, certainly. Yeah. But he's worked hard.
Micah stepped up.
Yeah.
Now Bob is trying to surpass that.
Yeah. I got a picture, Bob. It's from Lobo Hobo. It says Bobcat's Closet. And so it's got a top row. It looks like about, now this isn't quite you because I haven't seen you. I don't know ever I've seen you. That doesn't mean you've ever worn it in a blazer. But it's got, looks like about 12, 15 blue blazers across the top. And then about 12 pairs of gray slacks and 12 white shirts.
Change the slacks to blue jeans and you got it.
Yeah, that's just so Lobo Hobo, you're pretty close on that. You're actually evidently really close. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Elsewhere in baseball last night, Dodgers beat the Pirates 9-0, and the Mets finally broke their skid and beat the Giants. So Dodgers crawled to within 3 of the Giants. The Mets are going down to L.A., and they'll play in L.A. over the weekend. And I think the Pirates go up north. And then this whole checking for sticky stuff is bizarro world, right? You've watched guys come off the mound and checking their belts. Well, a guy named Lance Lynn, who pitches for the White Sox, was thrown out of the game yesterday.
By the way, that is your Cy Young favorite, a guy named Lance.
Well, but I mean, how many people that are listening to us know who Lance Lynn is, honestly?
You should at least have heard of him.
All right, I've heard of Lance Lynn, but I'm just,
very good.
Yeah, I'm just fair enough. Did I dummy it down too much for our audience?
He throws a baseball for a living. I'm not sure if he can hit. That could be an issue.
That's why I'm not voting for him, Cy Young. Lance Lynn, your favorite for Cy Young, by the way, thrown out of the game last night against the A's. So the umpires came over to do their sticky stuff inspection, and he tossed his belt to the umpires, and they didn't like that.
That one's pretty self-explanatory. Don't be that dude.
Look,
you can't be just throwing stuff at the umpires.
As much as you're frustrated by it and you don't want to do it, those guys didn't make the rules.
No one wants to get hit by a belt either.
Nobody wants to get hit by your damn belt.
Bring back like nightmares.
You okay?
Yes.
You want to talk it through? I mean,
it's that sound.
That snap of the belt.
Won't do it.
So got out of the third. Top of the fourth, he came off the mound. Third base umpire Nick Lentz went over to try to track him down for the normal. I mean, it's protocol now. It's like going through TSA, man. It's you go to the airport, you complain about it, you do it, right? They tried to get the inspection of his hat and his belt and his glove, and Lynn left his hat and glove on the dugout railing for inspection, but he didn't leave his belt. What are we doing? Like, this is one of those where I tell you, why are you so angry at the Messenger sometimes? And why this particular time? Why did it get you this particular time? I can't speak for the umpires and how they look at it. La Russa said, I hope that they didn't single him out. I love Tony La Russa. Like as much as you hate him, I'm starting to like him more again. Listen to him every night.
You like Tony?
I'm starting to like him more. Yeah, just because I enjoyed listening to him every night. He's just an old man, and he's bitter. Yeah, the more you don't like him, the more I'm starting to like listening to him. Yeah.
Okay. This team. I think he's winning in spite of Tony La Russa. Like that's how good they are.
Why do you say what is he doing to screw up the team? Besides, he's old.
Well, I just didn't like the hiring in the first place.
I know you didn't. I know.
Like you got way too many breaks. It's just to say buddy hire. But if you own a baseball team, you can do whatever you want. We've seen that. And it's working out right now. Because I just feel like the fact that he pretty much made a player retire from baseball really gets to me.
I get that.
Like he didn't stand up for one of his players, and the whole old school mentality of protect the game at all costs, and he went out of his way to destroy one of his players because of that. I thought it's ridiculous.
And explain that for people who don't remember the story.
Yeah, you had Yermin Mercedes, the catcher, who's 28 years old, started the season on fire, was one of the best hitters in baseball. That was his moment. Like he's never going to be that good again. He hits a pitch off a position player, launches it into the stands, and Tony La Russa gets mad at Mercedes for that. Says it's fine that the other team eventually retaliated and was thrown at him because that's not how you play the game. And then guess what? The slump came from Mercedes. They ended up sending him down. He dealt with a ton of issues after that personally, so he didn't handle it well. But he also didn't have the backing of most important coach in that organization, and he ended up retiring from the game of baseball.
So all that's right. All that's right. And La Russa's still holding to it, so it's old school, and that's not how we play the game. And somehow these guys are responding to him. They're 21 games over 500 and 12 games in front of the pack. Like they've got the second best record in the American League. Somehow these guys are playing for him, right? You got to give him a little credit, don't you?
Yeah, he hasn't burned the ship. I just don't like Tony La Russa now. Yeah. Like everything that he's gone through to still be at this point and just kind of handed the keys to a great baseball team.
Well, handed the keys. He was handed the keys because he earned it through his career. Like he was considered a really, really good, if not great
how about
manager.
An off-season DUI that no one talks about in soft?
No, that's right. He was handed the keys because he was a great manager.
And what did the prior manager do to lose that position?
Well, who was it? Who was the manager before? I don't know what he did. I don't know the inner workings of that organization. I'm not telling you I think it was a great hire. Yeah, no, I'm down with that. To your point, the DUI was overlooked. His maybe detachment from some of the modern aspects of the game have been detached, but he's been a great manager. Like he's a Hall of Fame manager.
He's got scoreboard,
and that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
he's got scoreboard. It is kind of crazy to think how long ago the Kirk Gibson home run was in 1988. So that's 33 years ago. And he was a young manager, and he 33 years. And I guess guys have 40-year careers, right?
Yeah. Especially in baseball.
Yeah, especially in baseball. And especially, it used to be. And if you get an old school manager and who's going to be in love with some old school guy, and it's hard to sit here and say it didn't work. I mean,
it's working scoreboard. Like I said, so that's why when people probably sitting there going, what is this doofus saying about La Russa?
Yeah, you can just say, I just don't like him.
And when you just look at, it's not, he doesn't have the resume. It's what was it at this point in time, other than, I get it. If the owner likes you, it's his team. He can make that decision.
And he's going to go back and try to...
Yeah, it's not backfiring, so...
Bring up some old magic. Yeah, and that's what it is. And I actually appreciate your honesty on that. I think so many times you hear people say, try to make stuff up. Just say it, man. I just don't like the guy. And that's cool. And you give a reason. I don't like him because I don't like the way he treated Mercedes. I think that's fair. The more he talks, though, the more I'm entertained by him. The more I sit there and listen to him and look at him, I'm like, damn, this guy's still around, and he's still doing this crap. And by the way, his team's winning, and they got the biggest lead in any division in baseball. Yeah, that old guy, the guy who the game's passed by. Evidently, it hasn't. because somehow these guys are playing for him. Somehow they're responding to his old school, old man ways. Like, the guy knows baseball. How much does baseball change over the years? I mean, it changes, right? Everything evolves.
Tactics change, but...
What did you tell me yesterday? Football's football?
Yeah.
What if I tell you baseball is baseball? I mean, how much does it really change? Bring back a guy, you steal less bases. All right. Guys throw 102 now instead of 96. All right. But still kind of the same game, and evidently it seems like he knows it. Who's at fault for breaking up the Warriors? Not the guys who broke up the Warriors, evidently. We'll get into that when we get back. Buying a home right now will give you an opportunity to lock in some of the lowest mortgage rates in history. American Financing will get you pre-approved so you can make an offer with confidence. As more and more homes and households shift to remote learning and remote working, it's become apparent space is an issue. The good thing is mortgage rates remain near record lows. That makes a slightly bigger home much more affordable. So whether it's your first home, your next home, your forever home, or maybe even an investment home, American Financing is ready and willing to help. From free pre-qualification to securing the best rate and everything else along the way, American Financing has you covered. All you got to do is give them a call. They don't charge upfront fees. They don't charge hidden fees. It's really a no-pressure, no-obligation experience that is focused on you. So what are you waiting for? With rates still incredibly low, there's never been a better time to make your move. Pre-qualify for free by calling 505-247-9999. 505-247-9999, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough.
This is Zach Gelb with the CBS Sports Minute. Has anyone realized that taunting is a problem in the NFL? Just asking because I haven't, and I'm surprised it's now a major point of emphasis for football this year. New York Giants owner John Mara the other day said that the competition committee, which he's on, is sick and tired of the taunting that goes on at NFL field. Maybe John Mara
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Apple to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, you smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
For the
Turbo
ones who
Threads,
know that
the
a
proud
little late,
sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Sports animal.
All right, so what happened when the Warriors broke up? KD left. He went to Brooklyn, and the band played on. Klay Thompson got hurt, and the Warriors have not been good since. And it's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. So it was 2018, and remember when Draymond Green and Kevin Durant had that argument? It was after a game in L.A. against the Clippers at Staples Center. They went at each other, and Draymond got suspended. Remember the whole thing? And of course, Draymond got suspended because you didn't want to upset Kevin Durant. Well, Draymond Green's got a new, is it a podcast that he's got going now called Chips? And they got together and solved the issue. They both played on the gold medal Olympic team. The opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. And J.J., they decided that the people to blame are not them, but it's head coach Steve Kerr and team president and general manager Bob Myers, because they mishandled the fallout. And look, I'll tell you, when something like this happens, everybody's got a little piece of the blame. But tell me, make sure I want to understand what I'm hearing and what I just read. The two guys who were the issue got together now and are able to talk and solve the issue and realize that the issue wasn't them, but it was somebody else who really wasn't the issue. But the problem wasn't them. It was the coach and the GM, not the two guys who actually were the problem. Is that what
Yes.
that's what I understand?
It's everyone else's fault in this.
Come on now. Look, I'm sure Steve Kerr could sit there and tell you, yeah, maybe I should have handled it differently, or maybe Bob Myers. And if you want to tell me that's part of the problem, but how do you absolve yourself completely? You're the two guys who went at each other, and somehow it's not your fault. If they'd have handled it, if they'd have stepped on me a little bit harder, then I'd still be in Oakland. Come on now.
Yeah, this makes zero sense. If you can figure it out now, you could have figured it out then. I think there was a lot more turmoil at the time between those two players. Kevin Durant, if it's not obvious by now, wanted to create his own legacy. And while he was a fantastic player for that Warriors team, I still think even Kevin Durant himself, as much as he'll tell you no, felt like, this is just me joining these dudes. I want to go do something.
Yeah.
And that could be it as well, instead of trying to blame everyone else and saying, well, it was Steve Kerr and Bob Myers, the general manager, that ended up pushing me away. No, you wanted to go do your own thing and show, hey, I'm Kevin Durant. I can do this. It's not just me joining the Golden State Warriors. But now you come back to this point, well, like, wait, it was actually everyone else's fault that I'm not there anymore.
So Kevin Durant, during this interview, said that he remembered watching The Last Dance, and he saw the parallels between the Bulls breakup and this. This is Durant. He said, quote, I remember watching The Last Dance, and when Scottie didn't go into the game, the whole team in the locker room said, Scottie, that was bleeped up that you did that. We needed that. We just needed to throw all that bleep on the table. Say, yo, Dre, K, that was bleeped up, that we had to go through that. Let's just finish our hands with that and go finish the task. I don't think we did that. We just tried to dance around it. I just didn't like that. The vibe between all of that just makes bleep weird to me. End quote. So basically what he's saying is they needed the coach to get him in there and say, look, here's the two. That's messed up. We don't need this crap. Figure it out, instead of sending Draymond home and suspending him and coddling KD, which I'll listen to that. Like, honestly, how did you handle it? And they did dance around it. And they were asked in every city. And Steve Kerr, everywhere they went, what's the deal? Oh, no, we're fine, and we're working through. They just had a moment, and it was emotional, and evidently it was simmering underneath the surface, which is fine. Then get the two in the room, sit them down, and say.
It's so easy to say after the fact.
It is.
Because you know in the moment there was tension between Draymond and Green.
Well, obviously there was.
And they're trying to put it on everyone else, because you're sitting there now with a bunch of perspective, looking back
3 years later,
going, oh, it was nothing. Well, you didn't feel like it at the time, because you could have sat down Steve Kerr and Bob Myers and been like, guys, we went at it, but we're good.
But they weren't good.
Exactly. But they're trying to tell you that, oh, they were, and it was everyone else that pushed them away. What?
But now you can sit at a table almost 3 years later, and you can somehow get along, and now you've solved the problem. You didn't need Bob Myers. You didn't need Steve Kerr. But you need them to make sure that the blame's on them. So just so you know, the breakup of the Warriors and we didn't win more, it's not me and you who got into this issue that ripped our team apart. It's them for not handling it better and bringing us back together. Well, the truth's got to be, it's everybody. But how do you sit there? I mean, like, who's buying this? Who's sitting there? Are there players that were in locker rooms? Oh, yeah. No, that's the coach's job. That's the GM's job, is to bring us back together and get... You're grown-ass men. You always tell us you're grown-ass men, right? Isn't that what I hear all the time? I'm a grown man. Well, if you're a grown man, then handle it. And if you're a grown man, accept your part of the responsibility. And I think there's a piece of truth in here that the GM and the coach probably could have handled it better. I'll listen to that. But you're going to sit here and tell me we're the guys who were the root of this issue, but we got nothing. It wasn't our fault. It's their fault. Who's buying this?
I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
And especially, like, we know the track record of Kevin Durant. Easily one of the best basketball players that we will ever watch.
Ever.
Has a lot of issues when it comes to the end of the Golden State Warriors, and then trying to figure out what his legacy personally is going to be. Because we all can see that this played a part in it, him leaving, and then also the fact that as much as he would try to deny it, you keep telling me he was the Finals MVP for the Golden State Warriors, he wanted to do it without Steph Curry.
Yeah. I think that's probably right, or do it where it was his. I mean, he's got guys now. He's got Harden.
Oh, look, Kevin Durant joined the Warriors.
Right. He might have a supporting cast like everybody else who wins does, but I didn't join their cast. They joined mine. I think there's something, and it's okay to say that, by the way. But who's sitting here and buying that the entire blame is the coach and the GM when it's you two who had the altercation and couldn't kiss and make up and make it go away? No, it was for them to figure it out and get us in the same room and say this bleep ain't right. I got by there's a little something to that. All right, you got a bunch of emails in my inbox. I'll get to those. 505-246-0610 is how you get to us. 888-922-0610. Hawaii head coach Todd Graham at 8:30. We're on ProView Networks. Adrian's producing there. You can watch it on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. Gato Roberto et al. I wonder if that's like going to be, remember, hello et al. Producing on the radio side at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
7 o'clock in the morning. 7 a.m. where have you been? 7 a.m. where is your brother?
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 2-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and J.J. Bach.
All right, got a ton on the table for you today. We're going to talk college football at 8:30 with Todd Graham. Kevin Durant and Draymond Green have got together and solved their problems and realized that it was everyone else's fault for not solving their problems, and that's why their team broke up.
It's not me, it's you.
I understand that. It's
not me, it's you.
I will accept. It's always me.
Yes.
I'm down with that.
Get it out
I've got
now.
big, broad
Get it out
shoulders, huge, and I'm. It's always my fault. I've been listening. I've been here 13 years. I hear it all the time. Like I got it. It's my fault. I'm down. I'm okay with that. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. It's my fault. United last night 1-1 draw with Oakland Roots, an Oakland Roots team who came in 2 wins, 11 losses, and 4 draws. Make it 5 draws.
Another missed opportunity.
2 goals in 5 games, 4 draws in the last 4 games. Is it a draw? If you're back, it's a draw. It's a draw. It's a draw.
We're doing a drawing now?
Yeah, they drop. It's kind of like dropping their draws because they dropped it. It feels like when these draws they're dropping.
Pants on the ground. And
I'm just saying. Next up, Austin Bold Monday, and then Phoenix Rising. A lot of chances left on the table for your 6th place, New Mexico United. Win-loss can factor into the vote. How people will feel on a new stadium vote. If they miss the playoffs.
Question.
Well, if they miss the playoffs, will people be more likely to go, yeah, whatever, as opposed to if they make the playoffs or make a run and get in the last week and everybody's all fired up and yay, we made the playoffs and like
it will become a talking point.
Yeah.
I don't think it will sway a significant amount of people that would vote yes.
Okay.
On this issue. I think if the majority of those voters that are on the yes side are pretty much cemented into it. And I think another big question in this is just what is the expected voter turnout in this election?
I think that's a big deal.
You know, are they thinking that they might be able to sneak it by because you won't get the size of voter turnout as you would when it's not just a mayoral election and things like that? So much like you want to stuff a meeting, they figure, hey, our supporters are going to show out to this, and the negative voices might not even show up to vote.
Jim sent me a note. Probably not unless attendance drops if they keep sucking. I mean, if attendance goes down, then people go, well, wait a minute. Now all of a sudden they're not winning and you're not getting those huge crowds. And I don't know. I mean, they had 6,000 last night on a Wednesday night, the first night of school. I think that's still a nice crowd. I mean, it's still
one of the larger crowds across USL for a midweek game.
I would imagine so. You know, like Isotopes have better crowds than most, and sometimes they have 4,000 or 5,000 people in there on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. I'm just thinking out loud as we get closer and closer. I'm just telling you, more and more people I talk to about. I had a conversation with somebody quite politically involved yesterday. He just said this is the biggest boondoggle. Everything about it stinks, and talking and so many of the things that I was saying, and infrastructure and money wise, and he thinks it's going to happen because he thinks the political powers that are there to push this thing through. But yeah, the more people I talk to are feeling the same exact way, unless you're talking to the hardcore soccer fan. So we'll see. Because I think there's going to be a lot of money spent on this as far as campaigns and ads and stuff like that. All right, 505-246-0610. Now you're going to get the USL Mountain Division rundown by Edward. Hello, sir. Break it down.
Well, good top of the morning to you, gentlemen. Goodness. When Kevin Durant, I've taken some criticism on Kevin Durant, but let me preface it with saying, and I agree with JJ, in the 40-some years I've been watching NBA basketball, he's probably the second, maybe first best get-a-bucket guy I've seen. He can create his own shot at any distance. He's legitimately 7 feet. Kareem was a get-a-bucket guy, but he didn't bring the ball up. Somebody got him the ball, but when he got it in the post and did the sky hook, the most indefensible shot in the history of the NBA. That's why he's a top 3 NBA player, in my opinion. Of course, Jordan learned a post-game move, the fadeaway, and the mid-range game, which was amazing and vastly considered the best player. I think Kevin Durant is better than Kobe, honestly, in terms of getting a bucket and more efficient.
Yeah, but you hate Kobe. You're a Kobe hater.
Well, yeah, exactly. I hate
you
Kobe.
are a Kobe hater.
How people have come around on Tom Brady, like the whole country? Little by little.
Now that Kobe's dead, you're coming around on him?
I love Kobe. I love me some Kobe. Yeah. Probably the 9th to 11th best player in the NBA history, in my opinion. I love Kobe. But when he made the move, I called it a weak move when he made that transition. But I think Kevin Durant's a dichotomy in his own mind. As mentally strong as he is on the court and delivering big moments, what he did in the playoffs this year was amazing. And he's done it repeatedly, and probably is the best player in the league right now. With that, it's a two-edged sword, meaning it'll cut you going in and heal you on the way out. Biblical, by the way. That I'm not only here to inform, I'm here to educate.
You know my favorite part of your calls when you laugh at your own stuff. Like, you know that, right?
Indeed, I do. And what makes me laugh more is when you laugh. So we're kind of in a loop.
Yeah, that's a dangerous one.
But with that brilliance, I think he's such a conflicted guy, honestly, with fake Instagram accounts and not being at peace with himself. And that whole facade last night, it's just an interesting
What do you think
story.
of that from last night? So I'm supposed to sit here and believe that it's the two guys who created the incident are the two guys who aren't at fault, and it's everybody else's fault but us. And now 2.5 years later, we can sit here and figure out what we could have figured out back then.
It's a function of complete lack of self-awareness and environmental awareness. It's a complete lack of self-awareness and not taking ownership. And I think they'll come around and mature. Those are two of the biggest knuckleheads in the league, by the way. Like, those guys are knuckleheads. Green is a complete knucklehead, but a great player in his own right. But I think Kevin Durant is a dichotomy. If I had to choose one word to describe him, your greatest strength is often your biggest weakness.
That could be his nickname. Never mind, like Durantula or KD.
The dichotomy.
Dichotomy. Yeah.
I'm at the Range Rover place the other day, and I'm looking around, and there was a customer there, and she's like, "You look so familiar to me." I'm not even going to say because it'll stick with me, but it's a famous person on television. I said, "Well, I am devastatingly handsome, but I don't agree with your assessment." Hey, I was going to say, but I won't because it'll stick because it's so awesome. Hey, I got to break down the second best division in the NFC real quick, the South. I mentioned yesterday that to win the Super Bowl, you have to have elite talent at multiple spots. I think not only do the Buccaneers have the greatest player in the 102-year history of the NFL, which I know he's not in his prime, but he did throw for 50 touchdowns last year with no preseason, 50 spot, and for over 5,000 yards, which includes the playoffs. Tristan Wirfs, the rookie right tackle, gave up 1 sack and 1 penalty all year. He's going to be the premier offensive lineman in the NFL in the next few years. They got White. They got probably the best linebacker tandem in the league. Their receiver, Mike Evans, is the only receiver in NFL history to have 7 or 8,000 yard seasons to start his career. They have elite talent across the board, and they're stacked at every position. Does that mean they're going to win the Super Bowl? I sat in the stadium when the team was 18-0 and saw them lose a game by sheer flukes, but it happened. So if I break down the division, I think one team that's going to take the biggest fall this year is the New Orleans Saints.
No doubt.
Vegas has them at 9.5, guys, 9.5 wins. I think they're going to be around 500. They'll be 9-8. So I think they're going to finish third in the division. Vegas has the Falcons at 7 wins. I like they picked up the most dynamic talent in the draft this year, that tight end out of Florida. But then they give up Julio Jones. And their defense is Dallas Cowboy type bad.
Yeah, but
their defense is as bad as the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're a 7-win team. I think the Panthers are going to make a jump. I really do. I think the Packers are going to win the Panthers are going to win 9 to 10 games and finish second in the league. And I think the Buccaneers, barring injury, which you could say for every team, which, by the way, they might get beat opening night against the Cowboys because they're going to be celebrating and balloon animals and fireworks. I think they're going to go 13-4. I think they're going to get the number 1 seed. If they get the number 1 seed and they get the NFC title game, Brady's going to go to his 11th Super Bowl, guys. He's going to go to his 11th Super Bowl with a great chance to win it. So 13-4, and they win the NFC. And that's my prediction. So thank you for letting me elaborate. And you gentlemen have a delightful day.
As it is said. See you. All right, he picked the Buccaneers to win, and Tom Brady.
Who would have thunk it?
I mean, how? Who did I tell you? I got Packers and Bills? Who's your Super Bowl? You got the Vikings and who? Packers and Bills? I was struggling because I wanted to go with the Rams, but I thought that'd be a homer pick. And there's part of me that thinks that Rodgers is just going to go on another one of those scorched earth tours. And I kind of called that last year when everybody was backing off him. He's got that quiet thing to prove, and they're doing everything they can to give him everything he wants. And, I mean, that's another team. He got an MVP who went to the NFC Championship game last year. Could have made a couple plays. He didn't. I just don't think I think Tampa Bay's getting back again. And I don't know why I think that. I just don't. And I mean, the easy pick is Kansas City, right?
Yes, it is.
And that's why I'm going a different way. I mean, it could be Kansas City, but I think I'm going to go Packers and Bills. 505-246-0610. I'll read you some of your correspondence when we come back. Get yourself over to All In Autographs. The place is amazing, and coming up this weekend, they've got great stuff. They've always got great stuff coming up. Tony Richardson, Nick Lowry, DJ Mbenga are going to be live in the store Saturday, August 21st, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Photos, meet and greets, autographs, no charge to come in and meet them. And there's stuff to buy and stuff to have signed if you want. Then on Sunday, former Warriors great Rick Barry is going to be here. All In Autographs is the Southwest premier destination for sports memorabilia and collectibles. It is world class. And when I first heard it was going in, I was like, all right, cool. I've been in stores like this before. I've never been in a store like this. Like, I never have. I walked in, it was a museum. I spent 2 hours in there looking around at all the stuff on the walls. Whether it was the cards or the guitars that are signed, the history memorabilia, the sports memorabilia, the jerseys, the assortment of the stuff that they've got is world class, and you will find something that interests you. Tell them you heard it here on the Sports Animal. Tell them I told you about them, and you'll get $25 off your purchase of $100 or more. It'll be jerseys. Maybe it's a Clayton Kershaw jersey or a Steph Curry jersey or a championship belt from MMA or boxing, or Pele signed something, or a picture with Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe that I looked at. Or there's one that's signed by the 100 greatest players in the NFL at the time with all their autographs. It's beautiful stuff. And if you're looking for a gift, that unique piece that you can't find anywhere else for that person who's impossible to buy for, All In Autographs is your spot. Check them out. Their website is allinautographs.com. You can go to 2225 Wyoming Avenue Northeast. That's where they are, just south of Manal. Call them at 505-504-7575 and ask them about their VIP program and become part of that and take part in all their events. All In Autographs. It is all that.
Date night.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, Watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated.
AM 610, the sports animal.
Got emails all over the place. One on Ohtani. This one's from AC. He said, "Hey Jeff, on Ohtani, don't know if you heard, but Jack Morris was indefinitely suspended for doing a bad Elmer Fudd impression when asked how to pitch to Ohtani. Bad optics, bad time, but suspended. How's this different from LeBron James doing a Mexican Taco Tuesday yell? If we're gonna be all woke, it needs to be both ways." It's interesting.
Because it wasn't an Elmer Fudd impression; it was an Asian impression.
Right. It was an Asian. He what did he say? It was like.
And one was during a game broadcast, and the other was on social media. It doesn't make LeBron's right, but you time and space, man.
Yeah. Well, one right. He was suspended by his bosses.
Employer.
He's on TV. And LeBron's got employers too. And LeBron got backlash. I can see the similarity.
Good that LeBron's on your mind. That's you got to go with it though right now.
Rudy, good morning. What's happening?
Well, going to court live for the first time since the pandemic started.
Oh, you put on a tie, didn't you?
I don't know how many days that is.
Did
but
you know how to tie a tie
I do know
still?
one thing. It might be time to meet JJ over at F45, man. Putting that suit on was tough.
That's funny. Yeah, you better get yourself over there.
Literally, I mean, yeah, I feel like a stuffed olive, you know. But it's great to be like sitting in traffic, trying to get to court, looking for a parking space. That feels a little normal because that was my life for 40 years before, PC. I guess that's what we call it, right? Pre-COVID.
Okay. Yeah, we can call it that.
That's the new PC.
Sure. PP, pre-pandemic. Yeah, whatever you like.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So I'm real excited. What is it? 2 weeks away, right?
2 weeks from today, Lobo football. Yes.
Yeah, 2 weeks from today, and there'll be tailgating, and there'll be people throwing brats on the grill, and man, I can't wait for that. So for years I've had a sign up at my tailgate in support of the coach. Right. First we were the Fanatics for Fran, and then we were the Rocky's Long Necks for Rocky Long, and then we were Loxley's Locos, Davies Diehards, and I was trying to think what could I do for Danny Gonzalez, and then it just occurred to me, why not go with Fear the Fangs?
It's his thing.
So that'll be the name of my tailgate this year.
Beautiful. All right, we'll find it, and Rudy will give you a beer.
Absolutely, absolutely. Or if you don't want a beer, maybe a mixed drink, or if you don't want that, maybe a soft drink, or if you don't want that, a bottle of water.
Cool, refreshing water. All right, well, go kill it, you stuffed olive. Maybe we can just go stuffed olives for Danny. I don't know. Welcome back to Somewhat Reality, and good luck in court.
Thanks for the time, guys.
Right, see you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I was wondering if you remember how to tie a tie. We were having this conversation yesterday at that lunch yesterday, where I'm like, wow, there's guys wearing ties I think I've worn a tie once. And it was on game day in Frisco in the last Lord knows how many months. Well, probably since the New Mexico Bowl in 2019. Twice.
So I don't have to retie them.
Yeah, you keep them tied? That's funny, actually. I saw you wearing one on TV the other day. What's up, James?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up?
First off, I got to stand on. I'm going to tell you real quick. Kobe Bryant is not he's not the Mamba. DeAnthony Thomas is the original Black Mamba. Okay, got that out of the way. All right. Hey, been looking at the Bruins schedule, the basketball schedule. Looks like we're going to be spending a lot of time in Vegas, man. So, probably be flying back and forth. They have Gonzaga.
Yep.
Well, they play Villanova, Gonzaga, and North Carolina. So they got a good schedule this year.
Yeah, it's really good.
You know,
for a team that was in the Final Four, they should have a schedule like that. They should be featured. And I mean, they've got Johnny Juzang back. They should be really good, actually. They should be really good.
Yeah, they got a couple kids out of. They got one kid who transferred back. I forgot his name.
Yeah, that guy. That guy's good, though.
Yeah, hey,
that kid that transferred back. Yep. All right, so a lot of time in Vegas.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I want to blame the sports animal for my divorce. I'm blaming you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, if we'd have handled it better. No, you're right. You're right. I told you. I don't care. Blame me. I'll take the hit. It's my fault. And so congratulations on your divorce, and I will take the blame.
All right. Later.
All right, later. I just won't pay your child support or alimony. That's all. So I told you, it's our fault. Whatever, man. Blame me. I'm easy. Blame me. I told him
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Tell her it's my fault. I don't care. What's she gonna do? Not smile at me next time? Like whatever. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'll take the hit. I don't even care. All right. Yeah, it's my fault. JJ's generation, says Maurice. You ready for this? They're hard to understand. Most of the time, I think that they're soft, but they can also be brutally hard. I was talking to a couple of 20-something United fans, and they feel because they have had a couple decent seasons, the belt is now their birthright. They felt Troy Lesesne has plateaued, and they need a big-time, big-name coach to take them to the, quote, next level, end quote. These young United fans have become as obnoxious as the fan base of almost every other club. Maurice, we've been telling you that fan base has arrived well before today's email, right?
Yes.
They're like Lobo fan. It's somebody else's fault. They got screwed by the officials. The coach is only taking them to. Yeah, they're sports fans. They've arrived.
Legitimate sports fans.
In their third season, they have more than arrived. I think they hit it in their first season. Coach can only take us so far. By the way, they're getting a better coach than Troy Lesesne to come here. I mean, I don't know. You know the game better than me.
Right now, I don't think that changing the coach is a move. He made a gigantic roster addition, which should help open up this offense. So Chris Wehan didn't start. Came in the 61st minute, but I expect that to start paying dividends down the stretch. And they're still only a point out of a playoff spot. Right. One win, and they jump like two teams.
That's right. Sixth place doesn't matter. They're 1 point out of a playoff.
And so when people hear sixth place, they're like, oh, they must stink. What are they doing? They're terrible. Yeah, they've had a rough run of form when it comes to their offense, but like 2 wins in a row jumps them right back up the table, and it's not as devastating as it comes across.
But it's all your generation, according to Maurice. See, you're all damn kids today. You know what the problem is with kids today? They're too damn young. That's what it is. All right, Todd Graham's coming up next. He won a lot of games. Well, he won 5 last year at Hawaii. Won a bowl game. He's coming up next. Don't waste your hard-earned money on high credit card rates. Instead, consolidate your debt. Get help from your mortgage and can save up to $1,000 a month when you consolidate your debt. Call American Financing. You're able to make one low monthly payment instead of several payments. Paying off your higher interest debts faster may also improve your credit rating. So imagine the difference that up to $1,000 a month can make. Yeah. It's tangible, isn't it? Then pick up the phone, get a free mortgage review, find out what you can save. There's no pressure. There's no upfront or hidden fees. You might even postpone 2 mortgage payments. But you got to call American Financing. I don't know, no time like the present, right? 505-247-9999. 505-247-9999 or go online and visit them at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
This report.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of Novalent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Center fielder, Cade Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
The Sports Animal.
2 weeks from today, Lobo football out at University Stadium, UNM and Houston Baptist. The scouting, man, I mean, the work that Bobcat did, I will use the research. Man has put in a thesis. He's going to get a master's degree in Houston Baptist football. Todd Graham is Hawaii's coach. Hawaii had a really nice season last year and ended it with a 28-14 victory over Houston, JJ, in the New Mexico Bowl. They were impressive. They were up 21-0, close to 21-14, and Calvin Turner had that kickoff return. They bring back some really nice pieces. I know you like them.
I do. You look at Chevin Cordero. He's one of the many really good quarterbacks in this league. True dual threat guy. That can be dangerous with his legs. They find receivers, and they got Calvin Turner, who we heard from, who is a fantastic offensive weapon.
Todd Graham has won everywhere he was. He was at Pittsburgh. He was at Arizona State. Now he's at Hawaii. Here's my conversation with Hawaii head coach Todd Graham.
Last time I saw Todd Graham was Christmas Eve, Frisco, Texas. He had this beautiful New Mexico pottery mounted on a trophy mount, carrying off the New Mexico Bowl trophy. It is good to see you again. How you living?
That was a great day. That was a great Christmas Eve and great for our program. And, man, what a first-class operation. That was a great bowl experience in a very difficult time. It was just I'm telling you, it was a great experience for us and really rewarding, and it was a great day.
Perfect for everybody, but it ended up being a really nice day. For your program, that was only the 3rd time in the history of Hawaii's program, and I learned this then, that they'd played a mainland bowl game. Opportunity, obviously, in that situation, played New Mexico Bowl in Frisco was going home for you, but to get the exposure on Christmas Eve and then and to win like that, what is, we talk about you always want to win your last one, but what did that do? Have you felt a bump winning a game like that over a program like Houston on national TV in a bowl game?
Yeah, especially how we played. I mean, we came out, I think, jumped out 21-0 on them, dominated both sides of the football up front, very physical game, and it just gave us great confidence, man. And you work and you play and you practice to be a champion, and it's important. I mean, I know a lot of people look at the bowls and stuff, and I'm telling you that's a great. It's great for programs because it really propelled us into the off season and gave us a lot of momentum by being a bowl champion.
When you go, I don't know, when you sell the program, and I mean sell it both locally as you're growing your fan base, your corporate base, and then selling your program recruiting. Does that help? I've heard coaches talk about the tangibles, and winning that last game and being a bowl champion does seem to help.
Well, there was a player that wound up signing for us that was committed to the other team and wound up decommitting and opening back up his recruiting because we played in that area and that exposure. I think that helped us, no doubt, and is going to be a great football player for us. So, I think it does nothing but help your program. I think players, that's what they want. They all have the same goals and aspirations. They want to, graduate from college, get a job they love doing, and all of them want to play in the NFL and be the best that they can be. And so, getting the opportunity to play on TV is a great thing for you. And then when you can play well and win championship, that's a big deal, and it helps you.
Welcome. Todd Graham is the Hawaii head coach. All right, you said to me, we're going to be a pretty good team no matter what anybody thinks, or something along those lines. I think you're picked 5th in the division, which is kind of crazy after the season you got. Calvin Turner's back, Chevin Cordero's back. You've got the core of your defense back. Polls don't mean anything. I know you believe you got a pretty good football team.
We got a really good football team. I think we're going to be able to score points. That's the key for us. We only scored 26 points a game last year. We're the best defensively we'd been since 2007. That's a long time. And the points that we're giving up as far as total points given up defensively. And so we got pretty much all of our guys back, and then we've added the additions that we've made. We've added an All-American junior college receiver in True Edwards. We've really gotten bigger and longer and up front on the defensive line to be able to impact the quarterback. Some pass rushers, which we needed to be able to be more multiple defensively to help us stop the run. And then we really improved ourselves in the back end and the secondary with our ability to tackle and added some guys in there. So we're a lot better football team. Everybody else is going to be better. We don't have to wait close football games, but I like this team, and I've got a great belief in them, and our goal is to be playing for a championship in December.
In your division, you look around, the quarterbacks that you've got to stop at Nevada, at San Jose State, at Fresno State, you've got the returning or the reigning champions. You've got the team in Nevada that's expected to be terrific, and then your crossovers, and then your non-conference schedule where you're going taking on some big boys on the road. So you're going to have to stop some people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I walked in the door, I told them, "Hey, University of Hawaii, we're going to play defense here." And back in the Dick Tomey days. Back in the Dick Tomey days, they did play defense, and the key is making that commitment. And we want to play offense with a defensive mentality. We want to attack. We want to be physical. And so, and to be real honest with you, that's the only way you're going to win a championship. You look in the Mountain West. I tell people, I talk to my friends in coaching. They're looking for games. I say, well, you don't want to look at the Mountain West Conference for an easy win in non-conference because there's not any. You look at the parity in this league. I think that this is a very, very tough league. Great coaching, great play. Look at the quarterbacks just in the Western Division. I mean, it's impressive. I mean, a lot of guys going to play in the NFL.
I think that's right. Todd Graham's Hawaii's coach. I also watched the evolution of the coaches, and just watching, and so many came from the Pac-12. You came from the Pac-12. I look at some of the assistants who came from Danny Gonzalez to Marcus Arroyo to Andy Avalos, and look where they're coming from, the programs from which they're coming. There's a lot of winning pedigree, and it makes sense as you're watching the bottom get better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, you look at this league, and I can tell you that it's as good as I've been in. The coaching in this league, the programs, the players. I mean, there's a whole bunch of these guys could play anywhere, and so it's very competitive and it's challenging, and that's why you better have a plan to win that's unique to you. But the key is the team that mentally and physically whips the other team's going to win. And there are going to be a lot of close games in this league. You got to win those close games. And I think close games are won with discipline and synergy. Teams that love each other, teams that play together. That's why I like our team. Our team is our guys that come every day with a servant's heart, serve each other, not a bunch of superstars. Great humility in our leadership, and so I really like what I'm seeing.
You see not a lot of superstars, but I watched Calvin Turner take over that game. He is as good a playmaker is I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased, and I know you are, but I watched him win our game and take it over.
Yeah, I mean, he's a game changer. I mean, what kills you defensively is one-play touchdowns, is when they take the ball and go to the house. And that guy, there's not anybody that's better at doing that in this conference than Calvin Turner. And so I wouldn't trade him for anybody.
He's terrific, and he came from Jacksonville. They shut down the program, and he ends up in Hawaii. I remember during the bowl week last year, it was kind of breaking that Aloha Stadium was shutting down, and you guys didn't have a place to play. And I know wasn't your worry at the time. It was David Matlin, your athletic director. But you're going to play on campus, and it sounds like there's news that you're going to start building that stadium up and build it on stadium campus.
Yeah,
or an on-campus stadium.
Well, we're hoping. I'm hoping that's the direction that we go, because we need a new performance center and to prove our ability to teach and train and develop our football players. So I'm excited about the future. The good news, we're going to have a new stadium, and whether it's going to be on campus or it's going to be at Aloha Stadium, that decision's not been made yet. But I'm looking forward to playing on campus for the first time in school history, seeing the students coming down from the dorms on campus. There's a buzz right now. There's an electricity on campus. It's going to be exciting.
Should be. All right, you're doing something that not a lot of programs do, a home and home in season. You're playing New Mexico State home and home. Now, they've done it before with Liberty. How'd that come about, and do you like the concept of home and home in season?
No, No, I think that I'm not sure. Obviously, scheduling is years in advance, and when that schedule was made, I wasn't a part of it. And most of the athletic directors kind of head that up, and I'm sure it was a challenge. Getting games is probably why that happened. But you don't like to play somebody twice in the same year. It's hard to do that. But at the end of the day, hey, whatever's on our schedule, we're going to play it and control the things that we can control and go get after it.
What do you know about New Mexico State? I mean, they didn't play a fall season. They played in the spring. They played 2 games, and you're going to know plenty about them by the time this season's over.
Yeah, not a lot. I know they're well coached. We played them when I was at Arizona State, and they gave us all we wanted. And a very scary game. So very well coached. Yeah, very well coached. They do a great job offensively. You got to go out and you got to play every week. And so, we just take them, one at a time, the games we get on our schedule. And, our focus right now is getting better every rep, every day, every practice. And we're focused on one thing, being 1-0 against UCLA.
And that's what's coming up first, and then you focus on the rest. All right. Last, I want to ask you about the changes in athletics, and I know that you're a teacher, and I think you've said to me before, first and foremost, you're a teacher when it comes to these young men. They're going to have to learn a lot about NIL. And I ask the question a lot, who's looking out for the student athlete? How do they get educated so they don't sign a contract, let's just say sign away their rights, and Craig Thompson said in perpetuity when they're worth a little bit and years later they're worth a lot. How do you educate, or is it even your job to educate these young men with NIL?
Yeah, one of the things, I love that we're doing more to help student athletes. I think them having a little extra money to navigate through having 2 full-time jobs in college, being a competitive student in the classroom and being competitive on a Division I football field, I think is the toughest thing they're going to probably do, And so I'm glad that we're doing that. I just wish it would have been more organized where we could, because we can't do anything really to help them or to help navigate them. And I'm hoping that they'll change some of that where we can do it. I think it's going to benefit us in Hawaii because we have an international business market and international companies there, and everybody in Hawaii loves Hawaii football. I mean, we're the only show in town, and so we've already, we've had our quarterback, we've had guys already, be able to do deals. But what I'm trying to do is educate them and communicate, say, even though I can't be a part of it, man, you got to make sure you read the fine print. You got to make sure that you're getting the right value. You're not the right advice and not, the right value. And then what are all the rules? Like you can have an agent for NIL, but you can't have an agent. I mean, it really kind of feels like it's kind of gotten thrown on. And I don't like when the NCAA does that, but at the end of the day, man, we're going to learn, we're going to evolve, and we're going to do what's best for players and figure out a way to help and protect them. Because the problem with being involved is that if you say, okay, that's a good contract, then there's a legal part of that. But on the same hand, somebody needs to look after the student athletes, and I think as coaches, that's my deal. When people send their son to play for me, they're putting their hopes and dreams of their baby, their son, in my hands, and so, man, I don't take that lightly. And so we're going to do everything we can to support our players and to help them navigate through this and continue to educate them.
I think we're going to be tiptoeing through a minefield for the first couple of years and figuring it out. Todd, it's good to see you. Wish you the best of luck, and I know we'll run into you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Todd Graham, he tells you, he doesn't give you just a bunch of coach speak now. He'll tell you straight up. What do you think about playing New Mexico State home and home? Yeah. You like that? No. He tells you what he thinks about a lot of different things, and I'll be honest with you. My first experience with Todd was I wasn't a big fan of him, and I've warmed up to him, and I think he's doing a heck of a job out there.
Fun program, it is.
505-246-0610. You can respond to that or go anywhere we've been. I'll get you some more emails. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com, and we will reset for you when we come back. On the Spot Automotive Detailing is tremendous. Why and who are they? Well, why? Because their service is top of the line, top in their industry. Who are they? They are a automotive detailing service that comes to you and details your vehicle. Inside, outside, wash, wax, vacuum, all the protectant. And they do it, as I said, they come to you. What does that mean? Jeff, you mean I don't have to go to them? I don't have to stand in line? No. I don't have time either. They go to you. If you're working at home, they'll be in your driveway. If you're working at the office, they'll be in the parking lot. They come to you, total mobile, and they detail your car. And when they're done, you go outside and your car looks, feels, smells like the day you took it off the lot. That is detailing. And now they offer paint corrections for anything from scratches to asphalt removal. Your car will look like new again. With the ceramic coating, it's the best way to protect any paint for years to come. They will apply the ceramic coating by hand. That makes it last longer and gets a more even coating than anyone else can offer. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. This is really, really, really cool. Everybody I tell this to is like, really, that works? And then they come back and say, gosh, that was awesome. Yes, it's awesome. Find out for yourself. 505-859-2859. That's their number. 505-859-2859. Or look at them online. It's otsdetailing.com.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of Novalent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Center fielder, Cade Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a... Oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's other way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
One O's a count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the triple, and 2 more runs scored.
Steal to third base.
He brought the hot sauce for strike 3.
hit on the line to left. It's going to send Avila back to the warning track, to the wall, and he's going to watch it go. It's a solo homer off the bat of Bo Kidd. 1-0 Eagles. Just when we were talking about small ball, the Eagles play long ball. That boy's well hit to left. Coming in on it is Morrison. He drops it, and the Ravens win it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Dream style roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face.
DOT reminds you to toss no mas. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Sports Animal.
All right, lots going on. You can get into anything you heard and get back in the conversation on Shohei Ohtani. You can get in on Kevin Durant and Draymond because it's everybody's fault but them. You and I get in a fight. Let's just say. You MF me. I'm like, wow, of course it's my fault. Okay, and we have an altercation. And you storm out. I probably get suspended. And then you go on, create something better and start winning stuff somewhere else. And then we get together 3 years later and we say, man, it's management's fault. Gato Roberto should have taken care of this. It's his fault. He didn't.
Bobcat should have been better.
Yeah, he should have been better. Jared and Jeff, how did they not? How did management not handle it? I mean, what's the difference? You and I are grown-ass men. We get in a battle. 3 years later, somehow we can come together and figure it out, but we couldn't figure it out then. But it's everybody else's. It's everybody else's job to solve our problem.
The lack of self-reflection, awareness.
Yeah. And damn it, Bob, you didn't get us together and put us in a room and say this isn't okay. You two need to get along. You two like each other.
I'll give you boxing gloves.
Oh, all right. Well, it's something. Make us figure it out, right?
Yeah.
This is where I'm struggling. I like Draymond. I've always liked Kevin Durant. I just think it just feels so. I'm trying to find the word. Irresponsible isn't exactly it, but just to sit here and tell. And I'm not absolving Steve Kerr or the GM or anybody else of some responsibility. And I don't know what happened. And I'm sure that there were things that they could have done differently. But to sit here and say it's all on them and not on us when we're the guys who did it. Like we had the fight. We acted like children. But it was their fault for not parenting us well. Right? I mean, is that kind of what you're hearing?
Yes, there's no accountability from those two guys. It's so easy after the fact to look back 3 years ago and say, oh, they blew us up. No, you could have changed it if you wanted to and you didn't want to. And Kevin Durant, he's two different people. He is one of the best basketball players in the world, and off the court, he's an absolute mess because he's soft on social media. And you have burner accounts, and you're going after people, and you're tagging them. You're doing way too much.
Do you think he's the only one with a burner account?
No, it's a problem if you have a burner account.
Yeah.
Like, you need to check yourself and take a step back. Like, you get a ridiculous amount of criticism being a professional athlete and in the public eye. But then if you want to go out there and then go at it, it's going to be worse for you when people find out you have a burner account because it's going to happen. You're going to slip up.
Yeah.
And for as good as KD is, his off-the-court awareness is an absolute mess. And for him and Draymond Green to sit there 3 years after the fact to blame everyone else, it just looks so bad.
I think I agree with you. All right, we'll reset for you at the top. Lobo football's on the table. United 1-1 draw last night out at the ball pitch. We'll get into that. You know, your fantasy football stuff. You got drafts this weekend. JJ's full of answers.
Full of them.
Run your stuff by him with that as well. We're on ProView Networks. Adrian is producing on the TV side. You can watch us on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, or go to their YouTube channel. Gato Roberto et al. He looks a little different today. Not going to lie. He's producing on the radio. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
At home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early
in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with two-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and J.J. Buck.
2 weeks from opening day for Lobo football, we're here for you on the opening drive, talking football and football, baseball and Kevin Durant and Draymond Green solving the world's problems from 3 years ago. 246-067 if you want to get in. Shohei Ohtani hit his 40th home run yesterday. He became the first pitcher in the history of baseball to pitch at least 15 games and hit more than 29 home runs. Babe Ruth did hit 29 back in 1919. Remember that?
Oh, of course.
Which one of you remembers that? Who is it, Maurice, who told you about your generation? Maurice may remember that. Back when I was a kid, damn it. These kids today, they're too damn young. So I got into the Ohtani thing, and I've asked you, and I'll reset this. Why can't more guys play baseball and pitch, or pitch and play baseball? Oh, wait, they are playing baseball. No, why can't pitchers hit? And I know we get into this, and I'm on the minority side of this, and then I see something like this. I'm not telling you that more guys should be him. He's different. He's special. He's insane. However, why? I mean,
should more guys be average?
Yeah.
Especially when you're at least batting twice a game. If you're a National League starting pitcher, find a way to not be terrible. I think it's a fair question, but it starts with the pros.
No, I think it starts before that.
It gets college, and then when you get to professional baseball, you start specializing in it. Because my thing, too, is you've swayed me, Jeff, towards the idea of why does everyone just have to be so terrible?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's also one where we're not sitting there, like, complaining that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. can't throw in a ninth inning.
What do you mean throw? Like can't play right field or something?
No, can't
pitch,
close out a game in a ninth inning.
Yeah, but a pitcher can't go out and play right field either. I mean, like I get it. Everybody's got their specialty, and we don't ask Chris Paul to post up Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? I mean, everybody's got their position. I get that.
But you're asked to hit,
and everybody's asked to hit in that game. That to me is the difference. I'm not, to your point, I'm not asking everybody to be Ohtani.
But
why can't a guy hit 2/3?
What hurts that is free agency, though, too. Because if you're a dude that's been, let's say you've been on an American League roster
I think that's
for
fair.
7 years,
Yeah.
and maybe like 2 times a season,
100%.
just it matches up where you're in a National League with a crossover game.
100%. Yeah. And that's why it's always been bizarre to me that baseball has that one different rule in both leagues. Eastern Conference and Western Conference play the same thing in basketball, don't they? I mean, do you find, give me a something similar in any pro sport where the same league but the different conferences or divisions have a drastically different rule that makes the game quite different? I can't think of one, can you? I mean, you can tell me college football, different conferences have different rules, but not really.
They don't?
No, not really. Back in the day, hockey rinks were different sizes. Like I remember Montreal had a smaller building, or Boston. I think Boston Garden had a smaller ice surface than some of the others. That makes the game different. You know, parks are but baseball's a different game now, right? You go to a football field, it's the same size football field in Detroit as it is in Miami as it is in Seattle. You go to a basketball court in Brooklyn, it's the same as it is in Dallas, it's the same as it is in Minneapolis. Baseball stadiums are all different dimensions, which is part of the charm of the game. I think that's actually really cool, right? Some have hills in center field where you got to climb up hills to catch balls and fall down, and it's like a folly out there. But it's the only game that I can think of, and I'm listening to someone tell me I'm wrong, that you're in the same league, right? Major League Baseball. The two conferences, or in this case, the two leagues, American League and National League, play different. They play different games because of the DH rule. Now I know we're going to go the other way, I know it's going to the universal designated hitter, but I've always wondered why. Like why? And then you see Ohtani come out, and they're like, all right, I'm not asking everybody to be Ohtani, but can a pitcher be a 220 hitter? And the answer is, and Todd Brown, the baseball coach at UNM, we had this conversation Sunday. And I'd love to bring him on and talk about this. It's the way I get it, it's the system. You get out of high school And if you're a pitcher, you don't hit. You don't concentrate. There's a designated hitter, and you don't concentrate on hitting. And like he said to me, you know, what if you didn't hit a golf ball for 2 years? Could you hit one? I'm like, well, not very well. He's like, that's the thing. They don't.
It's a want to.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it or not?
Well,
not that you're not even asked to do it. Like if you're some dude that's sitting in single A right now, maybe you're a decent pitcher.
Yeah.
But like, how could I be different?
But
how could I stand out? Do you want to put in that extra work, you know, between your outings?
And so I wonder if even if you want to, will they let you?
Yeah.
Right? What organization, this is what I asked you earlier. If Shohei Ohtani came up through the American system, whether it was drafted out of high school and went through the minor leagues or went to college, would he have been allowed to be this guy? He says, you know, I'm a good hitter and I'm a good pitcher. I want to do both. Would they allow it? Because I got to believe there's plenty of other athletes who are good pitchers. They come up and they were pretty good hitters too, and they make a decision. Nope, you're an arm. We're going to protect you. You can't hit. You can't run. Oh my gosh, we're going to put you in bubble wrap in the days you don't pitch.
And it looks so awkward
sometimes.
Like to your point, like where do you lose the athleticism?
Well,
like going from starting pitcher to going up there like you've never held a baseball bat.
Yeah, and it's the lack of familiarity, to Todd's point. So these guys are all great athletes, but they're at the best level in the world. They're facing the best pitchers in the world, and they don't hit. So I don't know if they, you know, especially American League guys, they don't go in the batting cage. So all of a sudden, to your point, a World Series comes up, and here's a really good athlete who's a pitcher in the American League for the last 7 years, and he's facing Clayton Kershaw or Max Scherzer or pick your guy. He has zero chance, like you and me. He's got no chance. So it's always, I mean, it doesn't kill me about baseball. It's always bothered me, and I've always thought that, you know, let them hit. But to your point, if they want to, would they be allowed? If Ohtani came up, if he went to San Diego State, if he went to Texas, if he went to Florida State, if he played at North Dakota State, would he have been allowed to be this guy? And how many guys have we missed out on?
Do that, and that's the thing too. That's what's just so unbelievable about Shohei Ohtani and hitting 40 home runs.
It's insane.
And
It's
then
insane.
going out there, and it's like, oh yeah, I've started 18 games, sub 3.0 ERA.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Crazy.
It is insane. All right, 505-246-0610. The emails come in, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Of course, the Sports Animal text line is 505-246-0610. Harold wants to talk about a little volleyball, Jeff. They roll in their first friendly on the Johnson Gym pitch against Highlands, right? Everyone plays. Everyone looks great? Question mark? Yeah. Yeah, you got to look at your first soccer friendly the other day, right?
Yes. Season starts today. Mobile Women's Soccer has 2 games in Las Vegas. Got UC Davis this evening, 5:30 Mountain Time.
All right. And I'm going to guess volleyball will, look good against Highlands, and everybody will play, and everybody will have their run, and everybody will be fine. This is on the text line. It says, a contrary view here, soccer ballot-wise, the powers that be won't push it through, as was suggested. Rather, the voters will, since the powers were merely able to put it up for a vote. Voters need to participate to express their views, yes or no. I agree with that. I think there's going to be certainly some political. I'm not telling you that they're going to fix the vote. That's not what I was insinuating. I think there's going to be a lot of money put behind the pro stadium push. Is what I was saying on that. Okay, it's interesting stuff in here though. New soccer stadium naming rights, Facebook Stadium, Amazon Stadium, Netflix Stadium. I mean, it all sounds so easy, and I've heard that on so many fronts. Yeah. But it's not as easy as that. It really isn't. I got a Super Bowl pick on here. Lions and Chargers. Like what? Can I have some?
Thanks for texting a show, Jared Goff.
What are you smoking? And why aren't you sharing? Like, what the hell is going on here? Lions and Chargers might not be like absolutely ridiculous, but what? It says, just curious, how will this year's college season in each conference affect the alleged mix-up of alliances, matchups? Should there be as much mix-up as people are predicting? I don't know that this year's season is going to have any effect on any sort of conference realignment. whether it happens to a dramatic degree or not. Do you? I mean, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I don't think it's predicated on this year's college football season. Do you?
No.
I think none. It would be my answer.
I think if you looked back on the last 10 to 11 years when we've dealt with college realignment or the discussion of college realignment, winning is not as high as most people think it is.
Yeah. Now, you've got to be a decent program. You've got to have good support. Because we've heard a lot, New Mexico's support has been down, and why would New Mexico not be considered for them? I mean, if their program had been competitive over the last 2 decades, it's a good market, it's a good TV market, it's geographically attractive. It doesn't recruit, but then we'd have had a different conversation. You can't be terrible. And
well, I think case in point, Boise State, where are they? Still in the Mountain West.
So Boise State is not geographically attractive. Boise State, I'm going to tell you, Boise State's biggest obstacle is the institution itself. Mm-hmm. The academic reputation, the academic stature of the institution. That's where the Pac-12 piece, to me, I don't think will happen in my lifetime. Because the Pac-12 continues, and look, I'm not going to tell you they're wrong, rightfully so, base their membership on academic prowess. They pride themselves on being a very, very high-level academic group of institutions. Boise State does not fit that. I think the Big Ten is the same way. In the Big 12, I don't know what the Big 12 is going to be now. Like does the Big 12 just try to figure it out to cobble it together and reach out there? That's why I think Boise State stays where they are for a while. It's not a big TV market. It's not an easy place to get in and out. It's not along the way, right? That's why I always felt Albuquerque and New Mexico, if New Mexico had that program, I think that they might have gotten into one of these conferences.
Really?
I do, just geographically TV. I think it's the biggest TV market that is not in a Power 5 conference. Market 40, whatever they are today, 46, 45, 47, wherever it is. But if you look at, the last time around it was all about TV markets. But I think it's the biggest TV market that's not in or close to or somewhat in a Power 5 conference. 505-246-0610. We'll continue. I got more emails for you at Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Mortgage rates remain near all-time lows. They can't stay this low forever. You need to act now. You could be paying a lot less for your home every single month. It's true because with these historic lows, you can save a lot of money. As a homeowner, one of the worst things you can do is miss out on lower interest rates. Lower rates mean hundreds of dollars in monthly savings plus tens of thousands of dollars in long-term savings. Lower your payments, shorten your term, consolidate debt, even access cash, whatever it is you need. American Financing can help. You lower your rate, you take your money back, get the help from American Financing. How about this? Would you like to save up to $1,000 a month? Of course you would. When you choose American Financing, you don't have to reset your loan term. You can choose any term, 10 years and over, because you should be paying interest on years you don't need. It's a no-pressure, no-obligation experience focused on you, so what are you waiting for? With rates still incredibly low, there's never been a better time to make your move. Pre-qualify for free. Call them at 505-247-9999. 505-247-9999, or go online, AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green. And keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
All right, so football season starts up here, college football soon, and then the
Football season starts today, Jeff.
High school football?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got Sandian Valley tonight.
Yes.
I believe that's what I get tonight. Yeah, Sandian Valley.
ProView Networks.
ProView Networks. We'll
Aaron Rivera and JJ Buck.
Are you calling the game tonight? Well, why don't you promote that more? Aaron Rivera and JJ Buck. No wonder Aaron's not working.
Aaron, he's busy.
A-Riv. A-Riv? A-Riv?
We'll workshop it.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, you know how much I hate those. All right, so you get that tonight. I'm probably
AR.
All right, here's one. And I've been listening. Every quarterback's under pressure. Every quarterback's got to perform. I got it. Every quarterback's got to perform. Pressure on quarterbacks is who? Who's got to win now? Is it Kirk Cousins? Is it Derek Carr? Is it Baker Mayfield because he hasn't gotten paid yet? I'm not buying into whatever's going on with Denver. Is it Stafford because he made the move? Is it Rodgers because he put himself out there so much? Like, what quarterback has the most riding? I hate who's under the most pressure.
Because they're all under pressure.
Because they're all under pressure. What quarterback has the most riding on this season? The most The most to gain or lose on this season.
You're looking at names that are good but not great because you wonder, all right, what's the opportunity to hold? Now, a lot of it can be where are they contract-wise, whether you want to throw Kirk Cousins.
Mayfield.
Derek Carr. I think Baker Mayfield would be atop that list because he's looking around, seeing Josh Allen getting paid.
That's right.
Lamar Jackson's going to make bank. And that's that next decision of what level of investment. Because you have a good quarterback, and this is always the challenge because discussing quarterbacks in the NFL from the outside looking in, we all have a tough time doing it because if someone's not Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, we're like, they can't be worth it. It's a Jared Goff situation. It's Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, you always feel like, oh, there could be something better.
That's right.
But it's okay to be good because guess what? Those guys got teams to the Super Bowl, and that's what you're asking these quarterbacks to do.
So did Joe Flacco. And
he won.
Yeah, and he won. So I'm going to tell you, I think Aaron Rodgers has as much on the line as anyone else. Now, not career-wise, not money-wise. But I think that's a guy whose legacy means a ton to him. And I think it's been made very, very apparent. He's a multi-time MVP. He hadn't been to another Super Bowl since he won it. It's not like Russell Wilson or Patrick Mahomes got to another one and they got beat. He hadn't been to one. And there's a big difference between a quarterback, when we talk legacy and we talk all time, who has won one, like Trent Dilfer and Brad Johnson and Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers separates himself from those other guys.
No, obviously he does from those guys. Obviously he does from those guys. But there's a big difference between multiple Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
Dan Marino?
Very much. Well, Dan Marino didn't even win one. Dan Marino got to one.
One that 10, 15 years from now, we don't maybe put him as high as he is actually talent-wise.
So I think that where you're going is absolutely ideal. Because Dan Marino, and I don't know how much Dan Marino you saw, Dan Marino might be the best quarterback that ever played. Now, you guys, people are going, oh, shut up. No, Dan Marino was so good. Now, Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl, never got back to another Super Bowl after his rookie year. Dan Marino's teams had no defense, very little running game. He had two good receivers with the Marx brothers. But Dan Marino was so good, but he never got back. And so he's not in that conversation. So when I ask you, and I say, who's got the most riding on this year? So there's two different kinds of riding. To me, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr have a lot riding on this year as far as their economic future, their next contract, right? I think guys like Daniel Jones have a lot riding on this year because is he the guy with the Giants? I think guys like Sam Darnold have a lot riding. Can he prove that he belongs in this league? But Aaron Rodgers may have as much riding on the line, and it might be just as valuable when it comes to long-term legacy. He's a first-ballot Hall of Famer. He's in the conversation of best ever as far as talent, numbers, all that stuff, but he's won one. And all the guys you talked to me about, except for him in regards to best ever, Montana, Elway, Brady, Peyton Manning, all these guys, they've all won multiple. I think he's got a ton riding on this year because I don't know who knows what's happening after. There's no idea what situation he's going to be in next year. I'm telling you, he should go to the retirement home down in Tampa and try to win after Tommy's gone. But I think there's a lot, and with everything he put people through this offseason with this whole whatever the heck it was.
Hurt feelings.
Yes.
Get over it. Much like we just talked about Draymond Green and Kevin Durant. Figure it out. Packers, that's starting quarterback. Packer fans can be rooting for him. He'll be fine. The one the out that Aaron Rodgers gave himself is the opportunity to do just that, like you said, after this year. Is even if he doesn't get to the Super Bowl with the Packers this season, he's going to get another opportunity because he's going to go to a good football team next year.
Yeah, I think
good roster.
One thing we've learned, if you didn't know it, nothing's certain. We can sit here and say that Patrick Mahomes is he'll go back to 4 or 5 Super Bowls. Probably, maybe not. Right? I mean, I'm old enough to remember when Dan Marino went to his first Super Bowl as a rookie, and everybody, oh yeah, he'll be back. And he never got back. Never got back. Like, there are no guarantees. You don't know when it's the last one. I think that's why Tom Brady enjoys every single one of them. I think that's why Brady is just so jubilant about what he does. I don't think he takes him for granted. And I'm not telling you anybody does. Look, Russell Wilson could be a 2-time winner, and will he ever get back? I mean, who knows? Who knows? And so I think there's a lot on the line. But if you're going to ask me, like, riding the most this year, I'm going to tell you Rodgers has a lot on the line this year as a quarterback. To me, there's a lot. Cam's fighting for his career. Mayfield's fighting for a contract. I think Derek Carr's fighting for his future in Vegas. I think even if they release Derek Carr, he gets a shot somewhere else. I think he's proven enough. Jameis Winston's fighting for his career. Kirk Cousins, I believe, is fighting for his career in Minnesota. And Daniel Jones, I think, is a pretty big season for him in New York.
Yeah, because a lot of those guys, their next stop, they wouldn't be a shoe-in starter. They'd be bouncing around, maybe a backup, maybe a bridge.
Yeah.
Where right now it's like, this is your team, this is your opportunity. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, no one's a shoe-in starter. If you and your team are parting ways because they don't think you're the long-term answer, then no matter where it is you go, you're going to be competing for a job. I mean, I look at Marcus Mariota, and he was was he number 1 overall pick? Right at the top of the draft, right? Number 2 overall pick. Number 1 was Jameis Winston. Mm-hmm. And both of them are fighting for jobs, right? So those guys, what did I give you, 5 or 6 of them? All for different reasons. Mayfield, I mean, look, if Baker Mayfield gets cut, if he leaves the Browns, he's going to be a starting quarterback somewhere, I think. But he's fighting to get paid. Daniel Jones fighting for what he's fighting for. How long is Kirk Cousins' deal? Is it perpetuity? Like, did they sign him until he's 106?
On the franchise tag every year.
2 more years? 2 more years. So they got paid for 2 more years. But if they don't win this year, they may eat it or bring somebody else in and they blow that thing up. I mean, but that's yesterday's story. All right, your thoughts. Quarterback with the most on the line. I'm not asking you most pressure. They all got pressure. It's a pressure-packed business. Everybody's under pressure to win. But the quarterback with the most on the line this year is who, in your opinion? 505-246-0610. Life happens. Life happens quickly. And there are things that happen along the way, things that are natural, that you're going to need help dealing with. Numail's there to help you. Gentlemen, as you age, things like fatigue, erectile dysfunction, weight gain, those are some of those natural things. There's a really good chance that you're going to be affected by these things. That's where Numail comes in. Numail helps you deal with it. They take care of you. You feel better, but you got to make the call. The number is 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688. You can visit them online, Numail, NUMALE.com. All the time there's excuses about everything. Oh, I don't have time. It's not convenient. I don't know who to call. I don't know where to go. Stop making excuses. Make the call. Do it for yourself. Numail's right here in Albuquerque. The process is comfortable. The process is convenient. They're with you every step of the way. But the most important part of this, the results. The results are real. It works. Men all over the country feel better. They're benefiting from this. Do this for yourself. Call Numail at 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688, or visit Numail.com and feel like you again. Drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out, and
Great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the 5th.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep.
The Sports Animal. Isotopes back at it. They're in Vegas tonight. Josh Suchon will crack the microphone. 7:45 from Sin City. Congratulations to Kevin Collins. Many of you don't know who Kevin Collins is, but he's been the media relations director for the Isotopes for the last number of years and got the promotion to the big leagues, got the call-up. Announced yesterday that he's going to join the PR staff, the media relations staff for the Colorado Rockies, going up to the big club. See, it's not just not the minor or the players who get called up; it's front office staff as well. Good dude, happy for him. He's done a really, really nice job. Been on our show a number of times, and I actually called a game with him a few years ago. Stoked for him.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, and I know he's been hoping for that for a long time. So good for him. All right. Appreciate this on the. This is actually good. I said, and it's from Jason. He said it on the text line, the Sports Animal text line. When I said Albuquerque is, I believe, the biggest market not in the Power 5 in college football. He said TV market's not in Power 5 Orlando. Yeah, but Orlando kind of is because they've got Florida and Florida State, and there's so. And you're right. There's not a team in the Orlando market that falls like directly in the Orlando DMA with Central Florida, and Tampa's in South Florida, but they've got Florida and Florida State. So he put me Tampa and St. Pete, and he put Orlando in there. So he's right for the most part, like technically, but because like they're also Florida and Florida State markets. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but technically he's right. He also said Cincinnati has University of Cincinnati, but again, Ohio State dominates that state. But yes, you're right. And San Diego with San Diego State are larger TV markets, or large TV markets also that are. Let's just put it top 50 TV markets that are not there. Also, he says Las Vegas and Sacramento. Okay, I appreciate that, Jason. He does a lot of research for us.
Well, Sacramento doesn't have a D1 school, though, right?
Yeah, but there's still a large TV market that isn't in the Power 5. But yeah, if you were asking me, because I guess the way I said it was the largest TV market. Yeah,
Sacramento State, if you want.
Right, they're close to Fresno State and obviously close to the Bay Area. I'm just looking for the latest Nielsen DMA rankings and where they would be, and I'll give them to you. All right, 505-246-0610 and 888-922-0610. More emails that came in. How long was Crusher's call? Yeah, there may be a new rule on that. Talk about, there may be a rule on that. Tella says not on the tee from the USA. Tiger Woods. He says these playoffs aren't the same, Jeffy. You don't have callers asking for a Brandon Hoagie update, inquiring how Lanto Griffin's scorecard's looking. No, you're right. You're right. What do you want me to tell you? You know what? That has been about as quiet as a rehab of a superstar ever. Like, you have no idea if he's walking, if he's shattered. I mean, honestly, has there been a Tiger update on his crushed, destroyed foot and leg? That's been as quiet as rehabs go. Or we think rehabs.
The best thing for Tiger. Like, you didn't,
oh, no doubt.
It's not some abstract, like, I'm hoping to be on the course for the Masters. It's.
Yep.
No.
He's been nowhere.
Yeah.
Terry, good morning. You're on the Quans Auto Care Hotline. Good day, sir.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, JJ. Hitting back on baseball, La Russa, don't swing at a 3-0, but if you want to stick a needle in your butt with a lot of juice in it, no problem. The one on the pitchers, the one guy that would hit 8th was Cesar Geronimo for the Big Red Machine. And I don't want to mess it up with facts, but I think one year at least he hit almost 300 batting 8th, which was pretty remarkable.
Well, Cesar Geronimo played center field.
Right.
Yeah.
And but I'm just saying he hit batting 8th before the pitcher because, there was nobody protecting him. And honestly, a lot of times just to get a 2-out hit.
So what you're saying is what Sparky did is instead of have his worst hitter hit 8th, he had one of his better hitters hit at the bottom of the line to protect his pitcher. No, Sparky Anderson was really good with that back in the Big Red Machine days, protecting guys like Don Gullett and those guys, Fred Nolan, the guys that were pitching. Yeah, no, he did that, and he did, out of the 8th slot, hit north of 300.
Right. And these days and times, just the strategy, it's not knowing how to bunt. Besides not knowing how to hit, pitchers can't bunt. They had one game this year where they thought it was thrilling. I was watching that they had 2 sacrifice bunts in the same game, which that part's gone away. And, probably who should rank as 2 of your favorite pitchers all time. I guess Rick Wise hit either 1 or 2 home runs when he pitched a no-hitter in the same game. And Tony Clowlinger, which was one of my favorite baseball cards, he is a pitcher for the Braves who hit 2 grand slams in the same game
I don't know that guy.
that he was pitching. Yeah, so... so that was kind of unique. And, Drysdale used to sometimes bat 5th for the Dodgers in the old days. But, I think now when you're only asked to pitch 5, maybe into the 6th, it's not even the old days where Gibson and those guys would bat 4 or 5 times in a game. They might bat twice.
Yeah, that's what JJ was saying, yeah.
Yeah, so, it's just so minimal that it's just not part. And luckily, Ohtani went to the American League, so he got to do both and show us,
Well, he'd have done
talent.
both in the National League, too. He just wouldn't have done it instead of a DH. He could have done it in the National League as well, right? And the pitcher could hit 3rd in the lineup.
Well, no, he could hit 3rd in the lineup, but on his off days, was the National League manager going to play him in right field?
Why
or
not?
Field?
If he's better than the right fielder or left field, I mean, what's different than this? Like in his off days, he could DH, right? What's the difference?
Well, the mindset would work if that's how they would thought, but that's not the typical mindset right now.
100%. You're right. But why would the National League be different than what he's doing with the Angels? If he was the best right fielder on the team, then why wouldn't you play him 4 out of 5 days when he doesn't pitch?
No, I agree with that, but I don't think they would do it. That's the whole thing. It's just they make them pick it. Same way they don't do it in college. That would even be better. Why aren't they doing it in college? Why isn't the guy who pitches one game for the rest of the series, playing somewhere in the field?
It's been my whole point.
And so it's just the mindset of what they do. I'm just last little thing on quarterbacks. I'm wondering about old Kyler Murray down in Arizona.
Yeah.
I know he's not on the hot seat, but they've given him a lot. They've given him Hopkins. They sewed up the defense, so it might be more on the coach. Kingsbury's smile might not save him anymore, but I think Arizona needs to put up or shut up this year.
Yeah,
so
I think Captain. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Terry. I think Captain Hansom's on the clock in Arizona. I think Cliff Kingsbury's got to do something this year, and I think it's really going to be tough because I think that division is terrific. I think the Rams are better. I think San Francisco's better. I think Seattle's better, and that doesn't mean I don't think Arizona's not good. I think Arizona's actually pretty good, but I think Captain Hansom's on the clock this year.
Oh, Captain Handsome is on the clock. And Kyler Murray, pressure, I'd say up there when you start thinking about who's under most pressure. Matthew Stafford has to be at the top of the list.
I think there's a lot there, too.
All the talk has been,
no doubt,
oh, it's Detroit's fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now you're in a fantastic situation.
Win.
So, the NFC West says 3 dudes right off the bat. Jimmy Garoppolo, writing's on the wall. You're not going to be the starting quarterback for much longer, but you have an opportunity to have a great year with that team.
Yep, go out and win.
Go out and win. Win the day with F45 training, full body functional fitness, high intensity interval training in just 45 minutes. What I love about F45 training is the work that you can get done in that 45 minutes. You're going to feel fantastic. You're going to get tired, but it's going to be that good sore that you get after working out with full body functional fitness. Programs are fantastic. Check them out for yourself. Go to F45training.com. Download the app today to take a look at the schedule of classes available. Classes are available 7 days a week. And then the class descriptions of what you're going to be doing, whether it's going to be more of a strength-based day, a cardio day, but it's full body functional fitness, all kinds of movements, tactics incorporated for F45 training. In just 45 minutes, you're going to find a way to fit it into your schedules. Check them out now, F45training.com. Download the app. You can sign up for your 7-day free trial. Get in and get going. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of Novalent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs as Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
610, the sports animal.
There's been a lot of conversation on mandates and masks and vaccinations and where's that going to lead. Lobo Hobo sent me a story. He said, interesting story involving a former opening drive guest. And this gentleman's been on our show a number of times over the years, Nick Rolovich, when he was the head coach at Hawaii. And we had a conversation today with the current Hawaii coach. Rolo, of course, is now the head coach at Washington State. And yesterday, the governor of the state of Washington, Jay Inslee, issued a mandate that all state employees working in an educational role from K to 12 all the way through higher education must be vaccinated by October 18th or risk losing their jobs. It's a similar mandate that he issued, the governor did back in August, for other state employees. His quote was, just like the state worker mandate, there are limited exceptions under law which employees may apply for, including legitimate medical reasons and sincerely held religious beliefs. Individuals who refuse to get vaccinated will be subject to dismissal, end quote. Now, Rolo, as you remember he didn't go to Pac-12 Media Days because he's opted to not get vaccinated. He's at risk here. Now, the governor clarified that his mandate includes Washington State's football coach, who up till now has declined to be inoculated against COVID-19. Rolo hasn't explained publicly his decision. But this is going to be interesting. So now what do you do? Like what's he making? I'm sure it says somewhere in this column, but he's probably making north of $2.5 million a year. He's coaching at a place that fits him, I think, perfectly. This is going to be a really interesting and potentially landmark case, don't you think?
It could be in this situation. It's you putting this team in a position that are you thinking about? See, to me, I'm vaccinated and I haven't grown a third eye or anything along those lines. But I know there's people that have much different feelings about it. But two, if you're Rolovich, what point are you? Is this all just personal belief, or do you care about your team?
See, I don't know the answer. So his team, according to the San Jose Mercury News, Washington State has the lowest inoculation rate in the Pac-12 at 80%. 7 teams in the conference have at least 90% of their players vaccinated, according to that report. And Washington State's at about 80%. Now, Robo didn't, as of now, has not made a comment. Washington State did put out a statement. Quote, "We applaud the efforts of Governor Inslee to protect the health and safety of the people of Washington. Washington State athletics, including staff, coaches, and student athletes, will continue to follow all campus, local, state, Pac-12, and NCAA guidelines related to health and safety surrounding COVID-19, and we will work to ensure the mandates in the governor's proclamation are followed," end quote. Which doesn't sound like they're supporting their coach in this, and I don't know that there's going to be room to support their coach. Look, this is something now, companies, and we had this conversation yesterday, companies are mandating this as a term of employment. Venues are mandating this as a term to enter. Like this is, you're going to have to get, you go to Hawaii, you got to, JJ, I got to show you this. I mean, the stuff you've got to do going to Hawaii to clear and get your upload your card and it's insane. I'm not telling you it's wrong, insane. I'm just saying it's a lot. This is going to be, I'm just telling you, and I was saying by the end of the year, maybe quicker, I think this is the norm more than it is the exception. And I like Rolo a lot. Like I've spent some decent quality time with Nick, and last time I was in Hawaii, invited me out to practice, and I'm a fan of him as a person and as a coach. But he's going to have a real decision to make here. Because it may be you're going to get vaccinated or you're not going to work here anymore. And I think there's not just college football coaches. I think there's people who are listening to us right now who are facing that same decision. We have peers with whom we work here who are going to have to face that same decision. But this one interests me. Just you know Rolo a little bit, and you've heard conversations with him. I'm not sure where he's going to go on this. I'm not sure, what's important to him and what should he do, and you stand by your convictions. Would a health reason, so if a family member had a reaction, like a sibling, would that be medical reason to not get the vaccine? Would you need would that, let's say your sibling with whom you share a lot of DNA had a reaction and that was directly linked to the vaccine. Would that be a significant? Would that be
having a different conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I would see how you'd feel that way, but would that be considered a medical exemption? I don't know the answer to that. Somebody asked me that question yesterday because they're in that situation. They don't want to get vaccinated. We're just having a conversation with a good friend. Now, I don't know, but this is where this thing's going, and that's now how it's affecting college football. So we'll see. We'll see. Gopher sent me a note. A lot of big names need a magical weekend to advance, Jeffy. That includes Cooch, Bubba, Adam Scott, Jason Day, and Gary Woodland. We start today, right? FedEx Cup playoffs?
We're underway.
Are we underway already?
Northern Trust.
What do I got? I got a leaderboard already? I got to have a leaderboard. If we're underway, then we're underway. Harold Varner is your leader after 16 holes in New Jersey. Tom Hoagie, there's your Tom Hoagie, and Lanto Griffin at the top of the leaderboard. See? Sebastian Munoz, Scotty Scheffler's up top. A lot of guys still haven't teed off yet, too. So this is the first round. You got 150 dudes, or 125, I think. And they'll make cuts and cuts and cuts and play it down to the PGA Championship, which will be in Atlanta coming up next month. Tomorrow, we're going to go into a Friday. We will have stuff coming off of the UNM scrimmage. Maybe get some UNM stuff in here. I'll talk to Frank and see who he wants to give us after the scrimmage. Maybe find the superstar coming off the scrimmage tonight. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
And then next week, of course, everything starts up 8 o'clock on Monday. Danny Gonzalez will be with us. 8:30 on Tuesday. You will get Doug Martin. It will be game week for the Aggies. Maybe he'll have a quarterback for you by then, huh?
I expect.
Maybe.
Or the classic or.
Time decision.
Or the classic or.
Yeah. Wednesday, Sebastian Noel will talk high school sports. Football starts tonight. Valley Sandia tonight. High school football. J.J. Buck, Aaron Rivera will be on the call. You can watch it on ProView Networks and enjoy that. And then on Thursdays, Jerry Palm from CBSSports.com will begin his weekly segments with us. As Jerry said, it just wouldn't be the same without spending time together. So we'll be able to do that. We get, and do I get, I think you get, I do. I get NFL football tonight as well. Patriots and Eagles tonight as well. Thank you to Todd Graham, Hawaii's coach. He was with us today. The Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will follow that. Sports Bar this afternoon at 4. Isotopes in Las Vegas, 7:45 is when Josh Sushan will crack the microphone from Sin City. Adrian, great work et al. Terrific work back there. That was pretty seamless, actually. I'm impressed. Is that like a wink and like a lip thing with the wink? It's like, can you wink without doing the mouth thing? You kind of can. Big day for you?
Huge day.
All right. Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow. Drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Center fielder, Caden Bell on first. Here's the pitch to Heath. Struck him out. And great pitching by Alvarado. That'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the fifth.
A great crowd for a mid-afternoon game. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout, number 5 for Matt Romero.
Smith talking to the batter here. That's a, oh, wow. Nice, and that's an out.
What did I tell you? That one's that gets over the head of the right fielder. That's going to bring in 2 runs. As Adrian Martinez with the RBI double.
Towards the latter part. Pitch, and that's another way for a single. That's going to score 2. That makes the score 9-0. So RBI double. That's going to make it. That's it. It's 10 runs there.
1-0's the count. And this one's high. It's going deep. And it's going to fall in. He's digging for third, and he gets there. Ezra Mestas with the 3-bagger. He gets the
sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No!